Good day, YouTube. The beginning of this video is from a concert that I went to just a week ago. Social Distortion, first time I've ever seen them. I had a really good time. I was all the way at the front, so there were some mosh pits going around and I got trampled. It was a lot of fun. That's what happens when you put yourself out there in that situation. Today I want to talk about a very popular topic that a lot of people contact me and always have questions, which is, should I be enlisted or should I be an officer? Or if I'm enlisted, how do I become an officer? I'm in my car. I'm going to go work out right now. It's not a fancy location, but the quality I hope is good as far as the topic. I've had the privilege of being both enlisted and officer, and I can tell you this, it's been a great journey. I also think that both are dependent on each other. That's my opinion. Remember, everything that you hear on this actual video with this topic is my opinion. You may disagree with some of it. You may agree with a lot of it. That's fine. You're entitled to your opinion just like I am with mine, but I'm going to share some of the experiences that I've had. So I was enlisted. I enlisted in the Air Force in 1995, 20 years ago, but I joined in 96, delayed enlistment. I enlisted for the reasons that I needed guidance and I needed structure, and I had a good job, but I wanted to travel. I wanted to do something with my life. I had been kicked out of a university when I was about 21 in Los Angeles. So I started to work full time and I said, I got to do something with my life, and that was the best thing I could have done. I didn't know much about the military other than the reason I chose the Air Force is it caught my attention. What a great name. Air Force, basic training, obstacles. My favorite color is blue. Talk about making a blind decision, but it worked out for me in the end. So I enlisted. As soon as I joined the Air Force, I realized that I'd made a great decision. It was definitely challenging because if you mess up in college, your college professor doesn't really care. Maybe they do, but most of them don't. And you can get away with it. It's only you that knows. However, when you're in the military, if you mess up, people are going to know, beginning with your supervisor, maybe your commander, and so forth. So I definitely felt the pressure to perform, but maybe that's what I needed, and that was a good thing. So I enlisted. My first base was Maxwell Air Force Base. I was a firefighter, and at Maxwell Air Force Base, it's home of officer training school. It happened for a reason. I didn't even pick Alabama. I picked Florida or overseas, and they put me in Alabama. That happened for a reason. I had about 2 years of college when I enlisted, and I was able to finish my degree. And one of the things that motivated me was seeing all these second lieutenants. And I said, I don't know what they do, but tell me what they do because I want to do that. So when I was enlisted, think of it like this. You're the functional expert at your job. From the beginning, from the lowest ranking all the way to the top, when you begin enlisted, you're going to be trained. You're going to be doing a lot of hands-on work, and that's what I did. As a firefighter, I retrained into personnel. So when I was personnel, I was a functional expert. I deployed people. That was my job, personnel readiness. So I would deploy people. I would create the orders. I'd meet with the customer. I'd depart them. I'd bring them back and so forth. And I remember we had second lieutenants who had a college degree, and my job was to take care of that second lieutenant, him or her, and people who would also take care of me. That could have been other airmen. It could have been an NCO or senior NCO who took care of me. That's one of the things in the military and in life. You take care of people, and people will take care of you as well. So that's something that's important if you're in the military, regardless of rank, whether you're enlisted or officer. So I was a functional expert, did a pretty good job at that. And I wanted to challenge myself, so I applied for officer training school right there at Maxwell Air Force Base for 2 boards. I wasn't picked up. And that could have been because of my AFOQT test, which I didn't score great. So I ended up applying for ROTC, Reserve Officer Training Corps, and they picked me up, so I had to separate from active duty to become a cadet in ROTC and eventually come back on active duty again. So I became an officer. When you're an officer, you are expected to lead immediately, whether you're ready or not. Going back to the help that's out there, I'm going to tell you something that you probably already know. A second lieutenant doesn't know it all. They may be sharp, trained young people, But they're going to depend most likely on a seasoned NCO, senior NCO, to take care of them, to mold them and show them how we do things in our section, in our office. So that is one of the things that, as enlisted, you are also a leader, especially as an airman. A lot of people may not see that as like, no, I'm brand new, I'm 18, I'm 19. What do I know? Well, you know what? The Air Force has trained you and me to be leaders, regardless of rank, to include civilians as well. Everybody, every airman of all ranks, civilian, military, enlisted officer, young or old, are leaders. And we should look at it like that. I tell these very young individuals, you're a leader because of this reason or because of that reason. So if you don't think like that, I will try to persuade you to look at it like that. You are a leader regardless of your rank, period. One of the mistakes that I made when I was enlisted was making the comment, I'm going to get out of the Air Force, or if I don't become an officer, I'm going to get out. And I see a lot of people do that these days. Same mistake that I did when I was younger. I say it's a mistake because you know what? Everybody has value, regardless of rank, to the team. Just like I said at the beginning, enlisted depend on officers and officers depend on enlisted. That's my opinion. I think it's true. So the mistake that I did, which was saying, if I don't become an officer, I'm going to get out. I actually get a lot of people who tell me that's what they want to do. And when I see that, I don't say anything about that, but I will in this video. Let's address that, you know what, I realized after OTS and not being selected for OTS, that if I wasn't selected for ROTC, my wife and I had decided that I would still stay active duty enlisted, because the Air Force, in my opinion, is a great team. Not a perfect team, but a great team, and we love what we get to do and see and the missions that we do. For me, it's my cup of tea. I love the Air Force, and it's one of those things that I'm proud to serve, even though the Air Force kicked me out of active duty because of a reduction in force. So much props to the Air Force Reserve for bringing me in, and here I am, almost 19 years of service, and plan on going for a very long time. Enlisted, officer, both are good. And you would be surprised how educated our enlisted forces are these days. A lot of them come in with degrees, and I'm talking about some of them come in with master's degrees. Yes, I see it. I see it all the time. Enlisted officer of the Air Force, my experience is we have a very educated force. We have so much talent out there on both sides. You do what's best for yourself, challenge yourself, and appreciate what the other side does, whether it's the officer side or the enlisted side. And I hope this helps. My opinion is the Air Force is a great team. It's not what your rank is what you do. One of the videos I'm going to make right around the corner, I'm going to challenge myself to think outside the box, is based on leadership, because I said everybody is a leader, and I hope you see it that way as well. Do what's best for yourself. Contact me with any questions. I hope this helped. You have a great day.